Hey guys, my name is John McKeon, Firefighter Craftsmanship. What we did was put together some videos that incorporate rotational movements that we can use either as part of our training, as a warm-up, or as a finisher. The reason we did this is because we know that back injuries are a huge component of our job. And what our goal is we want to be prepared for our job. We want to be prepared for anything that comes our way. We want to stay out of light duty, and we want to keep our careers long and healthy. So our hope is that we can put together some of these movements. You're going to be able to incorporate them on a daily basis, whether it's before your PT or before your training sessions. It's going to make us a little bit harder for the job, and that's going to keep us prepared for whatever comes our way. So we hope that you like them, you can put them to use, and we keep you strong and healthy. All right, this movement is called the Windmill. We're going to demonstrate it first without weight, and then we'll show you what it looks like with either a light kettlebell or a light dumbbell. Taylor's going to extend an arm overhead, and it's going to stay straight up towards the ceiling. And she's going to run her opposite hand down along her leg. What you'll see is the side that has the arm extended, that leg is going to have a slight bend to the knee, and that hip is going to drive back. So she's keeping her trunk stable, right, as she rotates down and then up. Okay, we can add a light weight to this, but you're going to want to start light before you go too heavy because it is significant when you put some of this weight overhead. She'll demonstrate with the kettlebell the same thing. Keeping the arm extended, glued up to the ear. When she's in the top position, her eyes stay upwards, looking at the kettlebell the whole time. That hip on her right leg is being driven back with a bend to the knee. As she switches, now this hip will be driven back with a bend to the knee with her right leg staying straight. Nice and controlled with this movement. Thanks, Tay. All right, this movement's called the Turkish Getup. We're going to start without a weight, and then we'll progress to using a kettlebell. So Taylor's seated on the floor. She's going to start this movement by lying down on the ground. She's going to extend her right arm up towards the ceiling. It's going to be pointed towards the ceiling the whole time. She brings her right foot as close as possible, and that's what she's going to drive off of for this movement. Her left arm is going to come out to the side, and in a series of steps, we're going to segment this movement to get to a standing position. First step is she's going to drive through her leg and get up on her elbow. You'll see her arm is still pointed towards the ceiling. Next step is she's going to go from her elbow to her hand, and she moved that hand just a little bit closer in preparation for this next move. What's going to happen now is she's going to drive her right foot into the floor and raise her hip as high as she can because she wants to get her left leg that's out extended to a kneeling position behind her. So go ahead and make that transition, Tay. Really good. Now, right now, you can move things to get yourself in a better position to stand up. So she moved her hand a little closer to her knee. She might move her right leg in a little bit closer. And now she's going to go to a one-legged kneeling position. From here, she's going to stand all the way up. Okay? That's not the end. Now we have to get back down by reversing those positions. So she's going to take a left knee down to the floor. She's going to plant her left hand onto the floor. Driving through her right leg, she's going to raise her hip and kick her foot out in front of her, bringing her hip to the ground. Now she'll go down onto her elbow and finally all the way down onto her back. You want to practice this a bunch and get those steps down without a weight. Now we'll add a weight to it, and you'll see that without the pauses, it's still a smooth, slow movement. We're not rushing this. So go ahead, Tay. Arm is extended. She's going to drive. Keep on moving. She'll raise her hip. Replace with her knee, stand all the way up. Her gaze is up the whole time. She's going to reverse it, plant that hand, the hip goes up, and then all the way back down. Awesome job. All right, this is called a standing twist, and we're using a plyo box variation with this. So you're actually going to be able to go pretty heavy with this with a heavy kettlebell. And what it's going to look like is standing between two boxes just about hip width apart in a very controlled fashion. We're going to pick up that weight and we're going to rotate it from box to box. Okay? What's really important is you notice that Taylor has a little bit of a pause on top of each box. We want to do that. We don't want to tap it just like we do with a Russian twist because we want to be very controlled. We want to lift and then rotate and place it down. So not going for speed here, we're going for quality of movement, right? You'll see that her midline is very tight. She's rotating kind of at the hip and the torso. She's not shrugging as she picks up that weight, right? We're really controlled and focused with this movement. All right, this movement, we're going to show you a couple variations of a weighted bear crawl. And if you don't have a sandbag or a kettlebell, the two things that we're going to show you right here, you can use a RIC pack if you have one on your engines or your trucks. You can use an SCBA. You can use a high-rise pack. plenty of stuff in the firehouse that we can use to drag them around in place of the tools that we have here. So Taylor's going to demonstrate the first movement, the weighted bear crawl using a kettlebell. You're going to see that she plants her foot near that kettlebell and reaches with her arm on the same side as the foot, and then drives that kettlebell out in front of her. One thing that's important to notice is that she's not rotating at all, right? She's bracing as she goes, which is really important to create that midline stability. That's what we're trying to do. This next variation is going to be a sandbag drag that's going to be between your legs. So as she crawls to it, she's going to crawl slightly past it, reach back, and she's going to drive. Again, driving off of her foot on the same side as the arm that grabs it, and making sure that she's not overly rotating, keeping a good position, and maintaining trunk stability.